Hello everyone, what is up, and welcome to our patch 5.3a jungle tier list, where we will be discussing the strongest and weakest champions of the patch, and of course, the new champion Ambessa will be included. So with that said, let's continue with the tier list, starting from the lowest B into the S plus tier. Starting from the B tier, all of these champions can jungle but are much better being played in their main role. For example, Varus Dragon, Mundo Baron, Fizz Mid, Darius Baron, etc, etc. Of course, I know there are one tricks like Varus Jungle being used in higher rank, but that is more exclusive and is something that is not commonly seen. And that is why these champions are generally in the B tier. Going up in the list, we have the A tier, where most of the meta junglers can be found. The reason why they are here and not in the higher tiers is because even though they have their strengths, they have clear weaknesses that can be abused by the higher tier junglers. For example, Olaf's early game is really strong, but if he doesn't get a snowball, he could be in trouble when it gets to the late game. Similarly to Yone, the complete opposite, has a weak early game but has a strong late game, so there are ways to punish these champions, but of course, with the right team comp, they can obviously be very strong in the game. Next up, I will be introducing a new tier, which is the A plus tier. What differentiates this from A tier is these champions have a bigger chance of snowballing the game, plus their weaknesses are not as visible as compared to those that are in the A tier. Three champions that I want to talk about would be Mordekaiser, Hecarim, and Amumu. Mordekaiser was previously SS+, but due to the recent nerfs, he has been brought down to A+, but that doesn't mean that he's a weak jungler. He's still very strong, and if you're able to pilot him well, one of the best duelists in the game, you should be able to still carry with this champion. Similarly, Hecarim is another champion that has gotten nerfs on a few patches back and has also dropped from S plus tier down to the A plus tier. Same boat with Mordekaiser, still has the chance to carry games, but not as efficient as the S or S plus tier champions. Last is the Amumu, my hidden OP jungler for this patch. He is very strong, has good setup, tanky, and great DPS. So even though they counter your champion with QSS, you still deal a lot of damage and can peel for your team. Especially in solo queue, people don't like to play tanks, and this would increase Amumu's value, making your team fights a lot stronger. That is why he is placed here in the A plus tier. Next we go to the S tier, where all of these champions are blind pickable, good into almost any matchup, and can snowball the game when ahead. Lilia, one of the strongest hard carries right now, suited in this tier. Eve, same boat, but can be elevated, especially if you are a one-trick. Gragas, despite the nerfs, still a very reliant jungle and can carry. Once he has 3 items, the nerfs don't matter. But the two champions I would like to discuss the most here would be Jarvan and Wukong. Jarvan has finally risen a tier from A to S because of the fact that the meta favors him so much, with all of the OP junglers getting nerfed, plus Sundered Sky giving him very good synergy, making him a lot stronger. Even though his ult can easily be dodged out, he is still very durable, has a lot of DPS, and crowd control. Wukong, on the other hand, is very similar to Jarvan, both from A tier, now up to S. With the Sundered Sky, Wukong now deals so much damage, crowd control, also durable, duels are pretty decent, very strong team fighting champions, which is why they now deserve to be here in the S tier. Last but not the least is the S plus tier, where all of these champions are very versatile and good all stages of the game. They have no clear weaknesses, and that is why they're in this spot. Early game, have good ganking, have good clear, good duels, good team fights, and can tank for the team, can even engage if they want. They have everything in their kit. For example, Vi, Rengar can both build tanky or damage depending on what your team needs. Similarly to Viego, Riven, even though they are more on the damage side, they can definitely engage by themselves, and once they get a reset, they pretty much 1v9 the game. And of course, Ambessa, our new champion, this is where I placed her. Currently on autoban status, I've only played her for 3 or 4 times on rank games, but that is enough to show me on how OP she is right now. She has like billion dashes, a lot of damage, she has engage, dash. I don't even need to mention what else she needs, but yeah, she's basically gonna get it gutted next patch. So if ever she doesn't get banned, you definitely need to pick her up. Can be played in the jungle or Baron, doesn't matter, both still S plus tier. And of course, this is my personal jungle tier list for patch 5.18. Some of these champions can obviously be placed higher depending on your mastery, But generally, this is best for the newer players who want to know who are the strong junglers right now. With that said, feel free to leave a comment down below if you have any reactions or suggestions. That is it for me. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Peace out. Ciao, ciao. Bye.